and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
25 mortar shells have just been fired from the Gaza Strip into Israeli territory. At least 2 rockets exploded inside a community in southern Israel, one of which detonated in the yard of a kindergarten. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported at this time. The IDF says most of the barrage was intercepted by the Army's Iron Dome missile defense system. Israeli security teams have just launched a counterstrike against Hamas military targets in the Strip. For now, no terror group has claimed responsibility for this attack, though it comes mere days after the Islamic Jihad terror cell promised vengeance, after an Israeli retaliation killed 3 members of the group on Sunday. Prime Minister Netanyahu has just summoned an emergency security meeting to discuss the mounting tensions along the Gaza border. Both Prime Minister Netanyahu and his wife Sarah are facing a number of corruption allegations, and now several of those police investigations appear to be coming to a head. We've just learned that state prosecutors are strongly leaning towards criminal indictments against the Prime Minister for allegedly receiving nearly $1 million shekels worth of illicit gifts from his millionaire friends. Meanwhile, Israel's Attorney General has apparently informed the Prime Minister's wife Sarah Netanyahu that the state will criminally charge her for fraud and breach of trust. She allegedly diverted nearly 360,000 shekels worth of taxpayer money for her family's own personal use. Other sources say Attorney General Mandelblit has ordered Sarah Netanyahu to reimburse the state fully for the alleged misused funds, after which time he'll decide whether or not to indict. Sarah Netanyahu, though, has reportedly rejected previous plea deal offers, saying she'd rather go to jail than reimburse the state or admit any wrongdoing. Meanwhile, investigators are said to be wrapping up yet another case of alleged corruption by the Prime Minister. This one, dubbed Case 4000, alleges that Netanyahu gave telecom company Bezek regulatory benefits in exchange for favorable coverage in the Walla News network. The Netanyahus, however, have repeatedly maintained that they committed no wrongdoing in any of these allegations. Israeli security forces opened fire on a set of Palestinians this morning as they were breaking into a settlement home near Nablus. One was reportedly injured and captured, while the other fled. Soldiers are investigating further, but reports indicate that their motive to break in was criminal and not for terror. But the IDF is on especially high alert following a very active evening. Aside from the 25 mortar shells launched into Israel south from Gaza, 2 more terrorists were arrested attempting to break through the security fence around the Gaza Strip. They were carrying knives, bolt cutters, and incendiary material. During the chase to arrest the pair, IDF soldiers came under fire. Israeli forces returned fire, reportedly killing at least 1 armed Palestinian. In addition, a tank fired at a Gaza observation post nearby, killing 1 and wounding another. Then later last night, machine gun fire was targeted at the southern city of Sderot, hitting nearby vehicles and buildings, and triggering a code red alarm. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. The family of a fallen IDF soldier killed in 2014's Operation Protective Edge have renewed their efforts to get their son's body returned. The remains of Hadar Golden have been in Hamas's hands in the Gaza Strip for nearly 3 years now. The family has attacked Prime Minister Netanyahu, claiming his cowardice and defeatism is why no progress has been made on returning their son. The family alleges that the ministerial team tasked with overseeing this matter, of which Netanyahu himself is a member, has not even convened since 2016. This appeal was made publicly to a bereaved crowd yesterday in Petah Tikva. The body of a second fallen IDF soldier, Oron Shaul, is also currently being held in Gaza. In addition, 2 Israeli citizens who may still be alive are also reportedly being held by Hamas. Apparently, the 2 Israelis willingly entered the Gaza Strip some years ago, and both are said to be suffering from mental disabilities. Human rights groups have long campaigned for their release, as well as the return of both fallen soldiers. The Israeli government has made tepid steps towards prisoner swap deals with Hamas in the past, but the terror group's high demands have often ended talks before they get going. Rumor is that the current possibility of a long-term ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel may include such a swap. In the meantime, though, the Golden family intends to seek action in Israel's high court to mobilize the government to action. In what could be the highest level contact between the United States and the Palestinian Authority in over 6 months, PA General Intelligence Head Majed Faraj and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo reportedly met in Washington last month. The meeting was kept quiet and occurred just days before Pompeo was sworn in as Secretary of State, but according to Haaretz reports, the meeting was known to Palestinian officials. When President Trump announced his recognitions of Jerusalem as Israel's capital in December, PA President Abbas froze ties with the United States. He even since removed envoys from some of their positions in the U.S. But according to Haaretz reports, discussions on security are still ongoing, and Farage, who is considered close to both Pompeo and Abbas, is now apparently cooperating in those discussions. Some of Farage and Pompeo's topics of conversation last month reportedly included President Abbas's health and the future of the PA in his absence. The 83-year-old leader, who is in the 13th year of a 4-year term, was just released from the hospital this morning. His 9-day stay consisted mostly of observation after a lung infection, but as Abbas himself said Monday morning, he'll be returning to work right away.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.